I'm going to go back to Mr. Chatterjee to talk about margins, steel prices, allegations of cartelization, and where he sees the commodity super cycle, right? Because Goldman Sachs says that's what we're set for. So in Q3, in Q2, Mr. Chatterjee, I think the steel margin for at least for the standalone business was somewhere around 13,000, and it was nearing cyclical highs. What is your outlook on the profitability aspect of businesses like yours, in the months and quarters to come?
I won't be able to give you specific answers now that that quarter is finished, but I think the question is about, as I said, that in the first quarter we had a deep depression in terms of demand. That started coming back in the second quarter. I think the third quarter it continues on that same trajectory. Overall, I think as you see that globally the steel cycle and the metal cycle today, the iron ore prices are about $170 a ton, which is one of the highest levels. And I think there has been in steel prices, there's been a decline in steel prices in the year 2018, 2019. And what you see is a recovery of some of those declines that has happened in the past years. So I don't think yet that we are in a stage where it is all-time high. I think all-time high has been higher than that, but we are in that trajectory is what I would say. And I think there is the cost factors, and I'm talking about global industry. I'm not talking about Tata Steel. I'm actually looking at if you look at prices in the US, in Europe, in Southeast Asia, in China, and in India, they are all on the same trajectory. It's not decoupled as such. So it is a trend that is happening globally. Cost factors have increased as far as some of the raw materials are concerned, especially iron ore. And there is a fair bit of cost push element in that prices also. And as I mentioned earlier, the geoeconomics and trade issues are impacting even cost of coal. So if you look at the cost base increasing, obviously it has got an impact on the prices.
Okay, so are you answering me or are you answering Mr. Gadkari? Because he has made allegations of cartelization
I am
against
answering
the
you.
steel industry and the cement industry.
No, I am answering you. I am not answering him. He's not
Okay,
asked me the
so
question.
then let me put the question to you on his behalf. And his concern is not invalid in any fashion. There has been a price rise. I know you've explained that the context of the price rise is global and not just necessarily local. But yet the higher input prices are hurting all the downstream industries like real estate, etc. So talk me through where you see pricing go from here on, whether it's a function of higher input prices or a function of much faster than anticipated demand recovery in the months to come.
End of the day, it's a factor of multiple things. A factor of issues relating to input cost, demand, and how the industry structure is globally. So, the way we have seen cycles go up and down, it's not easy to forecast cycles. As I've said this earlier also, that I don't think we can ever forecast cycles. It's a global industry. It has got global pricing. Input costs are also global from a raw material perspective, and we will have to follow what the industry cycle moves like. So that's how I look at explaining
But Mr.
without.
Chatterjee, can I make the counter argument that if you are at, let's say, EBITDA per ton margins of of close to cyclical highs, and a company like yours that is backward integrated as well, which is that you have access to your own iron ore through your own mines, then what is the explanation for a continuously rising product price?
So if it is irrelevant of an individual player. It is how the industry prices itself in a free market and globally free market. And that's how any price is produced. It's after all, it's a contract between a buyer and seller, and I think that is something that one needs to be conscious about, because it's not about cyclical highs. It has got its own compression elements also. So a company which is more competitive will have a higher margin than another company, but that's not the debate. The debate is about demand and supply and the availability. Today, there is a world where supply is constrained, not only in India, but elsewhere also, whether it's in Europe or whether it's in the other parts of the world, even in the US. So the China prices today are at about plus $700. So if you look at globally, there is a supply constraint of steel, which is also part of it, not the only factor. So there is a supply constraint issue. There is a raw material prices issue. There is input cost issues, and all of that is part of the cycle. I don't think nobody questions us when we are at $350 a ton of HRC prices. So I think we have to bear it up and down, and as companies bear the same, we provide enough amount of customer service along with the product, so that people see it across a cycle and not just a point in the cycle. That's the point.